A very good day to you, wonderful viewers. In this tutorial, we are going to be learning how to create a neatly formatted table of contents using Microsoft Word. This is the end result of what we are going to be creating, as you see on the screen. So stick to the end of the video where the formatting of the table of contents will be done. So without wasting much time, let's simply go to our Microsoft Word, go to File, go to New, Blank Document, and we start working with a fresh document. So let's just quickly begin to type the content of our table of contents. So the first thing we do is to type the table of contents. Then the next thing we do is I centralize it by pressing Ctrl E. The shortcut to centralize is Ctrl E, or you can press this command icon here, this icon here called center. So the next thing is to press enter and go back to align left, and begin to type in the first letters for that part of the page. So I just want to type in chapter 1, and notice I'm using a capital letter. Alright, so upon typing chapter 1, I just want to press tab twice. I press the tab key twice on my keyboard to give it this much space. I want to view my reference again to be sure that the spacing, yes, you can see the spacing between the chapter and the name of the title of the chapter. So is more or less similar. I pressed the tab key twice to give this space. So the first thing I want to type is who. I'm just typing the content of the table of contents. So I have typed the first title of chapter 1. The next thing I want to do is to create, if you can see, you will notice that we have these dotted lines. And how do we create them? Let me zoom in closer. We have these dotted lines. How do we create them? Is pretty much simple. Okay, all we need to do is we simply need to press the full stop key, the period key on the keyboard. But before then, we need to make these texts bold. We want the chapter and the title of the chapter as well as the table of content to be in bold format. So we highlight them and choose bold, for B for bold, the command there. So we also want our period dotted lines to be kind of bold, in fact to be bold. So we just leave it at bold and just keep pressing the period key now until you get to the end, around the end. Now notice, if you keep pressing the period key and it shifts to a new line, it means that it has exhausted the space for the beginning line, so it's going to a new line. So all you need to do is press backspace. When you press backspace, it takes you back up the first line. Okay, and we need to press backspace again so that we can insert our page number. So I can just insert number 1. Okay, that is the page where you will see the title, the content of the title, whole number. Now to be sure that we are at the very extreme end, we can simply insert more periods, more full stops before the 1, to be sure that is at the extreme end. When we set a full stop and it has not gone to the next line, we know that we should insert more. So if I insert again, it has not gone to the next line. If I keep inserting, now do you see that as I kept inserting, it went to a new line, meaning that it has reached its limits for that first line. So I press backspace to put it back to the top of the line. I believe you understand what I've just done. So the next thing I want to do is to write the subtopics of the chapter title. So I press enter to go to a new line, and I press tab key once, tab key twice, tab key 3 times. I press the tab key 3 times so that it will start at the same line with the title of the chapter here, so that the subtopic will start at the very same line. So I can simply just type, for the sake of speed. Now I don't want my subtopics to be bold with the title of the chapter and the chapter number. I want it to be in normal format. Okay, so I'll simply remove this. Is currently active on bold. If you can see, there's a blue highlight on the bold, so I don't want it to be bold. I just want it to be normal since it's a subtopic. So I click there to remove that, to unhighlight the bold command. Then I type, so I can just type revision on counting. Let's just make it as brief as possible. So I want the dotted lines to be bold, so I press Ctrl B. That's the shortcut to bolding, or you come here and click here. So I've already pressed Ctrl B, so it's on bold. Then I just press my period key, and I keep pressing until I get to the end. Then I now write the number when the subtopic is starting, so it can be at number 3. Okay, so to be sure that is at the extreme end, I go before the number and insert periods. So you can see it has gone to a new line, so I just need to backspace, so I know they are at the exact same spot, so that to be very neat, that is the numbers of the page numbers. So the next thing I do is I press enter, and like I did before, I keep pressing the tab key until it aligns to the subtopic. So I type in another subtopic. Okay, still in bold this thing mode, so I need to remove the bold mode. Now I just type in the name of the topic, use of abacus, then I make it bold again by pressing Ctrl B, sorry. Then I just press my period key, and I more or less just do what I was doing before. Now I can see it's on a new line. I press backspace to make it let me zoom a bit more closer so that you see what I'm doing better. So to make it align, so I press enter. Then let me just write one more subtopic for this chapter 1, and let me just say exercises. Okay, still in bold format. Let me undo that now and say okay, tap till it's still in, yes, exercises. Okay, didn't spell that right. Exercises. Is it, yeah, wait, is it Z or E? Sometimes British and American way of writing can be confusing sometimes. So I made it bold, and I just started to insert the period. Okay, so when I get to around the end, I just put the number where the subtopic started. So yes, you can see that that's the end. All right, so let's say I want to get to chapter 2. Okay, it's telling me of a grammatical error. Okay, so it's S. Yes, it's S. So let's go, and now we'll make it caps lock. We'll activate our caps lock to type in chapter 2 in capital letter, and it's already in bold mode. Okay, so all I need to do is just type now chapter. Okay, let's say I want to make this, okay, let's make this 1 for a start, make this 2, then let's say we have another I keep holding my shift. So this is more or less, how you can create the content of your pages. Okay, we'll soon get to styling the content to make it look like how it was in the reference design. So let's say this page started at number 9, to be sure that it's aligned. Okay, yes, it is perfectly aligned. So we press our tab key, we can write a subtopic. We can say something like, okay, it's in bold mode, so let's undo the bold mode by pressing Ctrl B to undo it. So you can just say values and place values as a subtopic, and we can maybe a quicker way to even create this period is you can just select a portion of the one you've created before, right click and press copy, come here, right click and paste. Okay, you don't need to, well, you can more or less choose this first option to paste it, okay, if you want. But you can, another way to paste, the shortcut to paste is to just press Ctrl V. Okay, the shortcut to copy is Ctrl C. So you can just complete it, right 12. You can see that it has moved to a new line, so we backspace. Okay, let's be sure that yes, so we've gotten it now. So let's just write, we'll do till let's say chapter 3, then we'll just duplicate what we've done so that we can quickly go to the styling. So let's write another one, let's say something like approximation from the content of the table of contents. You can already see that it's a maths textbook. It's a maths textbook. So yeah, let's say approximation and estimation. So you could practice with this table of content that I'm creating now. But if you have maybe a textbook and you would like to replicate the table of content in the textbook, there's no problem. So let's say this has just 2 subtopics. Now let's go to chapter 3, press our tab key until it aligns with the other ones, and let's finally see something like HCF and LCM, something like that. Then let's just come here. You can see that this one, you see that they are kind of aligned. Place value and HCM and LCM are aligned, so it will be easier to copy the dots of this place value and use it. So I press Ctrl C, come here, press Ctrl V, so you can see. So I can now put something like page 19. So that's where the topic started, the page where it started. So to make it perfectly aligned, you can see that they are very well aligned, the numbers. So we press enter, press our tab key until it aligns with the HCF and LCM. Then we can just say something like remove the bold mode, highest common factor, factor. Then let's say it's kind of close to this one, so let me copy the period for this one, add a little bit more, let me say page 21. Okay, backspace to delete one of the periods so that it aligns well. Okay, so it's well aligned now. So let's now put the next, this will be the last subtopic and chapter we'll do. We'll duplicate the rest and just apply the formatting to it. So let's just say lowest, okay, still in bold mode, lowest common factor. So I could just easily copy this one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V to paste it, and just change the number to 27. Okay, so yeah, so you can see that you already get the idea already by now. Okay, so let's say we just want, like, let me make this zoom out a bit so that you can see more of the page. So let's say we just want, let's say we want up to chapter 6. Let me just Ctrl C this, press enter to enter a new line, press Ctrl V. Let's say we've already typed all this, okay, up to chapter 6, and it's now time to style it. Okay, it's now time to style it. So what is the first thing we do? The first styling we do is, usually the table of contents heading is bigger than every other text. So let's say we give it a font size of let's say 20 or 21 or 22. So I choose 22. So this is already in capital letter, so it's showing more than the subtopic, so it's standing out more than the subtopic. So we could say we could leave it like this for, you know, it's still okay like this. So what we need to do now is, how do we do the styling? First things first, we need to change the background. So we come to this beginning side, left click and drag to select all that we've created. Okay, like this, release your mouse. Then we come to this option that says shading. This is the option that changes the background of your text, the text background. Okay, so when we click on the arrow, we just come here and choose a befitting color. You can choose a color, but make sure it brings out your text very well. Make sure it brings out your text very well. Okay, makes your text very visible. So I believe this light blue color is very nice. It brings out the text very well. So the next thing we want to do is change the colors of the text. So with the table of contents, I just highlight it, then go to this command that says font color, click on the arrow and choose something like red, because red really pops out of this light blue background. So just for a sake of matching, okay, we can just decide to change the chapter numbers to the same red color, just to rhyme with the table of contents color. So we just, you know, the rule of Microsoft Word is, before you apply any command to an object or text, you must first highlight it. Please never forget that rule, okay? Because some people, they go ahead of themselves. They want to apply a command but they forget to highlight, and when they are clicking on the command and nothing is happening, they will be wondering, is this thing not working? Well, you have to highlight it first. So for the titles of the chapters, we could give them a separate color, but let it still match. So white seems to do a good job of matching, so we can give them white color. Okay, white color. So yeah, so that's basically it. So we can zoom out to see how it looks. It looks quite neat. It looks quite neat and nice. So yeah, so this is basically how you can create a neat table of contents for your textbook or for your storybook, for whatever kind of book you are creating. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you practice it, and I expect to yes, I just hope you practice it. Thank you so much.